All right, and what are people tweeting about your business? Metavana tracks Twitter and other social media to let companies know how many good tweets they have out there and how many bad tweets are out there and exactly what they're all saying. Michael Tupanjanin is with us. He's CEO, comes to us from Boston. Thanks for being with us, Michael. All right, so 200 million tweets per day come out there, and you claim, sir, that your company actually tracks all of them. How do you do that?
That's correct. That's correct. Actually, just to correct you, actually, the numbers are now up to about 450 million tweets a day. And we not only track tweets, but we also track the broader web. So we also track blogs, forums, and product review sites as well.
Yeah, now Marriott and Epson printers are among your clients. You're not allowed to name some of the others. Can you give us any details on Marriott and Epson, though, and what they've been able to do with the data you provide them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Marriott Hotels is a wonderful case in point. So people like Marriott can actually go out and crawl. Twitter is a great example. They can find out, for example, that the mattresses might be too soft in Houston, or the air conditioning systems are broken in Texas, or the location of a particular hotel is really bad because there's too much traffic outside and the noise is really bad, so the noise gets in through the windows. The food is bad at the restaurant. There's lots of information that these hotels need. In order to be able to structure their businesses better. Yeah,
it occurs to me, Michael, that you're selling some fear here. It seems like the companies want to know who's complaining far more than they want to know who's really happy and loving them.
Yeah, that's actually true. I will say that there's a lot of companies that are actually seizing this as an opportunity. They see that if they can actually harness the social web correctly, they can actually boost their revenues pretty considerably. But you're right. There's a lot of people that are starting to get fearful. If you look back to things like the Arab Spring, for example, where people were actually able to rally around specific political issues, I think companies are actually all of a sudden starting to realize that they have the same issues that could confront them. You're just a tweet away from having a crisis at your company.
And yet with 200 million comments, or 450 million comments, you show off updating that figure, per day, it seems to be at some point, maybe companies should not even grace all of the complainers with a response. Maybe at some point, you ought to run the business the best way you can do, and to heck with the complainers. What do you say?
Well, I think that's actually where Metavana comes in. So what we do is we actually try to separate what I'll call the signal from the noise. So in those 450 million tweets, what we do is we actually crawl them. The first thing we do is we analyze the text and the tweets themselves, and then we actually categorize them. So we, for example, will sit there for American Airlines, we'll say, your seating is good, your crews are good, your baggage service is not so good, the waits of your ticket counters are really awful right now. So that's one part of what we do, and we try to make sure that we analyze all the sentences and provide the companies and our clients really good information about what's working and what's not. But the other thing that we do is we try to eliminate, because right now one of the big problems on Twitter is there's a lot of spam, there's a lot of noise, so we actually try to get rid of all that. And the other thing that we do for our clients is we try to identify the people that are really influential on Twitter. So we actually can give people individual influence scores. For example, I use the example of American Airlines. We can say to them, this particular person, it could be Kim Kardashian, it could be Alec Baldwin as an example, are incredibly influential and you need to pay attention, whereas somebody elsewhere might not have the same level of influence.
I'm sure I've already shown up on you on the incredibly influential part there, Michael. What percentage overall, if you had to guess, what percentage of commentary is negative versus positive? It's all a bunch of complainers, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. Twitter definitely skews more negative than most of the other social media sites because people have the ability right there and then to complain. I don't know exactly what the percentage is, but it definitely, compared to the rest of the social media sites, is definitely skewed negative. You're absolutely right.
And that's why you're raking in money, getting people to protect themselves and their companies. All right, thank you very much, Michael Tupanjanin of Metavana.